Welcome to this L&R warehouse training video on radio frequency order picking, or RF picking for short. Order filling or picking at an L&R warehouse is the physical process of moving product from primary bin locations into orders that eventually leave the warehouse for retail destinations. The process up to now involved order fillers marking off the listed items on the picking tickets as they place them in the order. And that's all dandy as candy, but there is nothing in place to indicate to the order filler if they make an error. And the process of marking off the items on a printed ticket, well, let's face it, that's so 1900s. So technology steps in. Drum roll, please. In the form of an RF picking scanner, henceforward known simply as the RF scanner. This is a device with two sections, the main keypad and viewing screen, and the detachable scanning device. First things first, let's go through the buttons on the keypad. On the top of the machine is the on-off button. On the front upper left of the machine, the escape key. On the front lower left of the machine, the blue special assignment key. Then we have the old reliable enter key. On the main alpha and numeric keypad, there are 13 keys representing numbers, letters, a space, and up and down scroll. To key in a number, just press that key. You'll do that plenty of times to key in quantities. To key in a letter, you'll have to first use the orange or gray selection buttons to select either the orange or gray letter mode. For instance, select the orange key, then the 1 button, to key in an A, as the A is in the orange area above the 1 key. Select the gray key, then the 1 button, to key in a B, as the B is in the gray area above the 1 key. Orange key, then the scroll down button to key in a Y. Gray key, then the 7 button to key in an N. You get the idea. Okay, so now that you know a little more about the RF scanner, let's use this thing. And that takes me to the fine folks at the L&R warehouse in beautiful Pine Bluff, Arkansas, the testing ground for the RF scanner. And it takes us in particular to Ebony, who will be our RF scanner tour guide / demonstrator / presenter person. Thanks, Ebony. The steps we take will be as if you're turning the machine on for the first time in the morning, or after the previous user had completely signed off from the machine. Here Ebony places a new battery in the machine and places the scanner on her forearm. That's right, you actually wear the RF scanner, and it's very stylish, very red carpet, wouldn't you say? And the scanning device that's attached to the RF scanner actually attaches to the user's finger, allowing them to scan codes by pressing the yellow scanning button with their thumb. Power the machine up using the aforementioned on-off button on the top of the scanner. Once it powers up, you should see this screen called the prelude screen. Press enter and you'll be on the first login screen, and that requires the license plate, which contains the user's 2 personalized barcodes. The bottom code will be used to log you in to that particular RF scanner. The top code, referred to as the scan badge, will then identify you as the person picking the order. Now back to the initial login screen. From here, Ebony scans the login code on her license plate 4 times in succession to get logged in to the RF scanner. After the 4th scan, you're on this screen, the radio frequency menu screen. Again, 4 scans of the login code gets you to this RF menu screen. Press 9 and you're on the RF pickpack screen. This is a screen you'll see many times in this video and when you are using the RF scanner. It's basically the main menu for the scanner. With RF login highlighted, press enter. Your user ID is requested, this time to identify you as the picker. It's back to the license plate. This time scan the top, larger scan badge. Your license plate number appears. Again, Ebony's is AR30. Press enter. An area opens where you can key in the warehouse zone where you'll be picking your order. Key in a Z for zone by pressing the gray mode button and the Z. Then key in the zone number by pressing that key. Here Ebony will be picking from zone 1, so she's keyed in Z1. Press enter. You'll see the Assign Next Release screen with the P highlighted. Press Y for yes by pressing orange, then Y. The ticket and box labels print, and you're on the RF pick pack screen. Go to the printer and grab the ticket and labels. Now you'll only get one ticket, but you might get multiple labels depending on the size of the order. Grab as many boxes as is necessary, get your workstation in order, and head to the picking area. On the RF scanner, since you've already logged in, scroll down to the RF pick pack option and press enter. Now you're on the picking screen. Another screen you'll get very familiar with as you use the RF scanner. Find the pick bin for the top item on the ticket and grab the appropriate quantity. Once at your workstation, find the box label for the first box. A special note or two about the box labels. You must scan a box label for every different SKU you place in an order. And the box labels that print out for your order are numbered. Box label number 1, box label number 2, and so on. You can identify the box labels as seen in this example by looking at the numeric barcode on each label. Here you see the barcode ends in 1. That's box label number 1. Here the barcode ends in 2. That's box label number 2. Well, obviously at the start of the order, you're scanning box label number 1. Now starts the steps you'll take over and over again as you pick product and use the RF scanner. Number 1, scan the label that will eventually be placed on the box you're putting the current item into. Number 2, scan the current item's UPC. Number 3, key in the quantity picked and hopefully the quantity listed on the ticket. And number 4, press enter. You're back at the picking screen and ready for the next item. Pick the second item on your ticket and go through those same 4 steps mentioned a moment ago. When you begin picking product into the second box, place the first label on the first box, as no more items will go in that box, and send it down the line. You've completed your activities with that box. Now start scanning the second label, the label that will be placed on the second box. A special note, the scanner will not allow you to pick items out of order. They must be picked in the same order they're listed on the ticket. A bonus special note, the scanner will not allow you to scan an item that is not listed on the ticket. If you try, you'll receive an appropriate warning message on the RF scanner screen. When you've keyed in the quantity for the last item listed on the ticket, you'll see the Release is Complete screen. Press enter. Put the appropriate label on the last box and send it down the line. On the ticket, write in the number of boxes you ended up using for that order. That should be the only writing on the ticket. Place the ticket in the appropriate holding area. You've completed an order. Congratulations! On the RF scanner, having previously pressed enter to the Release is Complete screen, you'll see the Assign Next Release screen. At this point, there's 2 options. Number 1, you're going to pick another order right away. Number 2, you're either about to take a break or you're finished for the day. If you're going to pick another order from the Assign Next Release screen, press Y for yes. The next order's ticket and labels will print and you're ready to start on that order. But if you're going on break or you're finished for the day, from the Assign Next Release screen, you would not press Y for yes. Instead, press N for no by pressing the gray key, then N. Then press Escape. You're on the RF Pick Pack screen with RF Pick Pack highlighted. Scroll up to RF Login and press Enter. Scan the top code on your license plate, your scan badge. You'll see this screen with an O on the Login Logout area. Press Enter. If you're going to the restroom, lunch, or on break, turn off the machine. When you return, turn the machine back on. You should be back to this screen. If you're going home for the day, press Escape till you're back to the Prelude screen. Then turn the machine off. So we've gone through logging into the RF scanner. We've identified the zone and picked an order. We've closed out the order and began the process of picking another order. And we've gone through the appropriate steps when, after finishing an order, you're going on break or going home for the day. Next, what about those instances where you key in a quantity for an item or items and that quantity does not match the quantity on the ticket? In other words, an overage or shortage. Let's deal with an overage first. So you've scanned a box label and then a UPC for a picked item. Nothing unusual there. You key in a 5, but the quantity on the ticket is 4. Now that will probably only happen with human error. You looked at the ticket wrong or you pressed the wrong key. Whatever the number you keyed in is larger than the number printed on the ticket. When you press enter, you'll get a message. Overshipment detected. The screen will also indicate the correct quantity for that item. Press enter, key in the correct quantity, and press enter again. The overage error is corrected, and you can continue with the order. Just remember to be sure the quantity of that item in your box matches the quantity on your ticket, matches the quantity you keyed in the RF scanner. Now let's deal with a shortage. You've picked 3 of an item and keyed in that quantity, but the quantity on the ticket is 4. You get a scanned short message. Now you might have made a human error by misreading the ticket or whatever, but in the case of shortages, you might actually have not had enough of that item in the picking area to fill the requested quantity. Obviously, you can't pick more than is available. You want to accept the shortage and move on to the next item. From the scanned short screen, key in an A. You're at the RF picking screen and ready to start on the next item. Meanwhile, the RF scanner has registered the shortage and will print an error label when you complete the order. More on that in a minute. But what if you keyed in a short amount in error and you just want to correct the error before moving forward? From the scanned short screen, press enter, key in the correct quantity, a quantity that matches the pick ticket, and press enter again. The error has been corrected and you can continue with the order. So to summarize overages and shortages. If an overage, from the overshipment detected screen, press enter, key in correct quantity and press enter again. If a shortage and you want to correct, from the scanned short screen, press enter, key in correct quantity and press enter again. Same process as for the overage. But if a shortage and you want to accept, not correct the shortage, from the scanned short screen, key in an A and continue with the ticket. Now if you're at an item on the ticket and there are none, nada, zilch of that item on the picking line, know that you cannot key in a 0 and accept that and move on. The scanner will not accept a 0. In that case, from the blank RF picking screen, do not scan a box label. Instead, press the blue key and 6. It's not pictured here, but a screen will come up where you can scan the item code for that 0 quantity item. You can find that item code for that item on the print ticket. Scan the code, pictured here, as an example, then the blue key and 2. That tells the system to skip this item and you'll be able to proceed with the next item. So basically, to key in a 0 quantity for an item, instead of scanning a box label and the product UPC, you press blue key and 6. Scan the item code on the print ticket. Press blue key and 2. Then continue with the order. No matter how you ended up with a shorted order, whether it's fewer of a listed item or 0 of a listed item or multiples or combinations of the two, at the end of the order, you'll see this prevent release screen. To accept, press gray key and R for release. An error report prints out for that ticket. The error report lists the shorted product, the lines the products are listed on the ticket, the amount the customer ordered, and how many units were shorted in the order. Staple the error report to the print ticket and put it in a special holding container for print tickets with errors. Management will deal with it from there. Now, I mentioned earlier that when you initially receive a print ticket for an order, you also receive a box label or labels. That is an estimated amount of labels for that order. The amount of labels printed might or might not be the amount you end up using. So to that degree, there are three possibilities. You have just the right amount of labels. You have one or more extra labels. You don't have enough labels. Right amount of labels, all is good. Have one or more extra labels after completing the order? Staple those labels to the back of the completed pick ticket. Need one or more additional labels because the estimated amount wasn't enough? Do the following. At a blank RF picking screen, press Escape. On the RF Pick Pack screen, scroll down to the RF Additional Tote Label option and press Enter. Then scan the barcode at the middle top of the print ticket. The first digit of that barcode appears on the screen. You can then type in the quantity of additional labels you think you'll need to complete the order. Press the blue key and 2. You'll be back at the RF Pick Pack screen and the additional label or labels will print. Scroll up to RF Pick Pack and press Enter. You're back at the RF picking screen to continue with the order with the requested label or labels in tow. One more special note about the scanner. You would do well to put in a fresh battery at some point during the day. Check with management on that. Understand how long batteries hold up. So that about covers it, but let's summarize minus the detail. To complete an order, put on the RF scanner, turn on the RF scanner. Log in by scanning the login code 4 times. Identify yourself as the person picking the order by scanning your scan badge. Identify the zone you'll be picking the order from. Get the labels, print ticket, and boxes and head to the picking line. As you pick items, scan the box label for the box the item will go in. Scan the UPC of the item, key in a quantity, and repeat for every item on the ticket in order, first item listed to last item listed. If overage, correct mistake and continue. If shortages, either correct mistake or ask the machine nicely to accept the shortage. If you want to key in a 0 for an item, don't. The scanner won't accept a 0 for quantity. Instead, press the blue key in 6, scan the item code for that item from the print ticket, and press the blue key in 2. If you need additional labels, use the RF Additional Label option on the RF Pick Pack screen. If you have extra labels at the end of the order, staple to the completed ticket. When you complete an order and you're asked if you want to proceed with another order, press Y for yes if so inclined. If you do not want to proceed with another order, press N for no and the Escape key. If finished for the day, press Escape till you're back to the prelude screen. If you're just taking a break or lunch, scan your scan badge and press Enter. Ladies and gentlemen, please see your manager with questions. Very quickly, another shout out to the fine folks in the Pine Bluff, Arkansas L&R warehouse for their assistance and cooperation on this video. Thanks for watching this L&R warehouse training video on radio frequency order filling.